right, everybody. After 4 months of trying, the party started to crunch the numbers, and then the sorcerer, for the infinite time, screamed "Shadow Wizard Money Gang" and ran in and cast Fireball on the Pit Fiend, and then the party got wiped. So session's canceled.
What the hell?
How'd you even come up with that?
Just now, I had nothing, and that's what I came up with. Congrats.
Jeez.
That was a bit of you were stretching on that one. You were stretching a little. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a Shadow Wizard Money Gang version of Leroy Jenkins.
What the fuck?
Because that's sort of the new Leroy Jenkins.
A little bit.
And it's, in my opinion, infinitely more funny.
Don't you dare. Leroy Jenkins is a fucking classic banger.
No, look, nothing to me is more funny than the color-coded fucking spellcasters throwing up gang signs that spell Shadow Wizard Money Gang. It's like such a 12-head play.
Let it be known that when the Shadow Wizard Money Gang meme first started going around, Isaiah just went, "I don't understand. Why is this funny? What is the joke here?"
Yeah, and then when I found out that there is no real context other than it's just casters being chaotic, I was like, oh, so it's a Fate meme. All right, cool. This is great.
Oh my fucking god.
No, look, this is a thing. Everyone's always like, I don't get Fate memes. Neither do we. That's why they're funny.
I don't know about that one.
This is what we call...
most Fate memes don't make any fucking sense to anybody unless you know, like, the top 1 percentile of the lore. You know just enough to be like, oh yeah, that's funny.
Matt, we call this copium.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, what's up, everybody? It's us. Session's canceled in all of our resplendent glory. That's the word I'm going to use. Shut up.
Splendid.
And we're here. We're back. Oh shit! Here we go again. Back at it again with another, I think, interesting topic. One that I've
another Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Yeah, a little Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Something I've been thinking about for a while.
Like your Shadow Wizard Money Game Enterprise
randomly this episode, and I'm just gonna lose all sense of. Okay, wait. All right, I know Sam usually does the random fucking tangents, but I have to share this with the internet.
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my father. I've probably said it a few times. My father was in the Marines, and he's still got some of that old jarhead in him. Because as he regaled to me last week, he was doing chores around the house, singing the Marine Corps anthem, as you do, apparently. And as he was singing it, my younger brother from the second floor of their house was like, "Can I get an oorah?" And my dad, from the halls of my hoorah, but he did it like right in my stepmom's ear, and she just freaked the fuck out at him. So I'm realizing that that's probably gonna be me. It's fucking no. Josh is gonna say that word, and I'm just gonna go for it. That phrase, I guess.
Good to know.
Yeah.
You know what else? You've been Shadow Wizard Money Gang your enterprise with. God, that was terrible, Josh.
What did you both just try to do that at the same time?
Yeah, yes, we did.
You both suck at this.
You know what? I was doing it to mimic Matt, which means that I'm actually amazing.
There you go. I don't know how you Shadow Wizard Money Game Enterprise like a segue into our following our ex cat. No,
I don't know either.
No, stop. No.
I'm just gonna ignore Matt. Everything Matt's saying, we're just gonna ignore it. All right, listen. Here's the deal. The little housekeeping, little bookkeeping. Y'all ain't gonna hear us for like 2 weeks, probably. I think I'm doing my math right. It's gonna be about 2 weeks. So, with that in mind, I have a special request. Well, we're gone. Maybe share with a friend. Say, hey, there's this podcast I found. Share it. Post it on your social media. Just share it around. Email it to your grandmother. I don't care. Share it with someone else. That's what I ask. It's fine week.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
I don't. You too good? That was a delayed reaction from both of you.
No,
I thought you were gonna keep going, and then you didn't. I was like, oh shit, I got it.
No, I had nothing. I was just. That's what I'm gonna say. Is just share it around. Show a friend. Be like, hey, here's this thing I found. Yeah, we have a 70 episode backlog. There's lots to get through.
Hell yeah, dude.
True. Yo, it's crazy that we're 72 with this episode. Episodes in.
Yes.
Also, I'm not gonna be here for a good while, so the conclusion of my 3-year campaign is going to be on a little bit of a wait.
Didn't even think about that problem.
Yeah, I did.
Pain.
We'll figure it out.
No, we won't.
Pain deep within my pecker.
But Isaiah, what are we talking about today?
I'm so happy you asked, Matt, because, it's something that I've been thinking about.
Never do that voice again. I'm so happy you asked, Matt. Just never say it like that ever again.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my voice.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Billy Mays here with another outstanding product.
Yes, you just Billy Mays.
Wait, shit, did I ever tell you that's my, John Goblicon voice? Anytime I play a goblin, I just do this, there's a band called Necro Goblicon, and their mascot is a goblin in a business suit. And that's basically the voice I give all my goblins now, is his voice. So anytime you're playing an adventure and you go travel down a cave, he's like, "Hello, adventurers! Welcome to my cave of wonders. Don't mind the dead squirrel on the floor."
I hate this.
Yeah, I don't.
Why?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
The more I learn about you as a dungeon master, Matt, the more cursed it gets.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why?
Anyways, Isaiah, before that tangent gets out of hand.
I hate that his name's John Goblicon. Like, I don't...
John Goblicon.
Yeah, because by day, he's an office worker. By night, he's partying it up. And he's a goblin.
No, don't make it sound fucking simple. It's not fucking simple, man.
I can't make it any simpler than that. It is beyond simple.
God. Anyway, the topic for today. Oh no, I'm yawning.
Is sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the topic for today is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. Although it's not necessarily affecting me in this particular way, but it is something I'm sort of like struggling with, and that's burnout.
Burnout paradise.
Yeah. Yeah. It's burnout.
Just gonna
the act of.
All right, I guess
I actually didn't play Burnout Paradise. I don't play racing games.
Oh,
I don't either, but I know. But I was expecting a little something off that one. But all right.
My bad.
I thought you were doing a Gangster's Paradise parody, and I'm like, I've never heard that. No,
Burnout Paradise is a real video game, Matt.
So does name.
Okay.
Matt, to this day, I still don't know what your video game genre of choice is.
Nothing.
Skyrim, Lord of the Rings.
It's Payday the Heist, and nothing else.
Yeah,
Payday 2, yeah.
And nothing else.
Payday 2, Pokemon, basically anything Skyrim-esque related.
Basically, Matt really likes bad games.
No, I like only the highest quality of turds. Okay. I'm done.
I hate everything.
I can't. But anyway, boys, I think at one point or other we've all sort of dealt with this interesting thing that we refer to as burnout.
Absolutely not. I'm a golden god.
Oh, really? Yeah. Also known as the fuck it factor to some, myself mainly.
The factor? What the?
Fuck it factor? How close you are to saying fuck it?
Oh.
You're like, God, I kind of want to do D&D today, but I'm like, had a bad day at work, and fuck it. You just don't do it. Fuck factor.
Yeah, I've never had that when it came to burnout or the fuck it factor.
You definitely did at the end of your 3-year game.
No, at the end of the campaign, it was mostly I just want the campaign to be over, not fuck it, I don't want to run D&D today.
Yeah, but that is wanting the campaign to be over is a fuck it factor.
Yeah.
No, because I actually wanted to I wanted to get to the ending. I didn't want to
but you wanted to get to the end.
Oh yeah.
Which is the fuck it factor. The fuck it factor implies you just don't want to. There's no one.
You look. There's something that you need to do: either run the game, or do the boss fight, or have the big epic speech at the end, and you're like, nah, fuck it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've thought of a few things today that sort of it kind of popped out at me when I was thinking about what's the phrase I'm looking for? Oh no, oh god.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang?
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. No. It was what I was thinking about things that stifle motivation or inspiration or just generally wanting to sit down at a computer at the end of a long day of work and write for what can be like a few hours at times.
A few hours.
At times, like very rarely, but like there's times where you're like building a map or prepping out a combat for a few hours.
I wouldn't call that writing, but all right.
I mean, you're putting words on paper, or
not if you're building a map. You're not.
There's a difference between setting up the maps and everything, and then sitting down to write stuff.
To me, it's the same thing. As in, I want to do it.
Yeah, I think that's really the point. He just doesn't. That's what he's getting.
He just doesn't want to do any of it. Yeah.
I like doing the thing. I don't like prepping to do the thing. It's like driving. It's like a car, right? When I see the car, I want to drive the car. I don't want to have to change the car's tires. Just let me drive the damn car.
I want to definitely see you one day do like a module of some sort. Maybe it'll be easier. Maybe it'll be like better for you because there's less prep involved. It's like, yeah, everything's just, all the maps are there. I just have to add a couple of things, tweak some things here and there, but it's basically like, halfway done, rather than my home game where it's none of it is done. I have to come up with all of it.
It would be interesting to say the least. We would, I learn a lot of things about myself. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Time to run Curse of Strahd.
Nah, I couldn't do it better than Sam. I think I could. I had so much fun in Curse of Strahd that I think I would just spend the whole time trying to replicate it, and then it would just be shit.
All right, Icewind Dale it is.
Maybe. I do kind of want to run Mr. X's Sands of Doom.
Oh, when that comes out? Yeah, that seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, I backed it on Kickstarter, so I'm going to get it. I might as well, do something with it.
Sands of Doom?
Sands of Doom!
For a hot second, I thought you said Dune, and I was like, is this a Dune in D&D
Oh, no, you
reference?
gave him ideas. Now he's going to make it Egyptian Dune themed. Fuck.
Yeah, look, it's
ruined it, Josh.
Yeah, you don't fight the giant black dragon, you fight Shai Hulud.
Yeah, big worm.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, you're gonna see just some random elves out in the fucking sands, and they're just gonna have blue eyes, and no one's gonna get the reference but me.
You must ride the worm.
And they they jump you from underneath the sand like a fucking assassin team.
Yeah, they just explode out of the sand with fucking crystal knives and start shanking people.
Just gotta replace wood elves with sand elves, and it's just they get advantage on anywhere that's sand. The whole planet is sand. Exactly.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah. There's a great thing at the beginning of Dune where a dude see the planetologist guy, the lady in the 2023 movie who helps them out a little bit. She shows them how to wear these still suits. Her dad is the actual first character you meet in the original Dune book. And a Fremen he sees a Fremen's Chris knife, so obviously the Fremen's I got a murk you now, you saw the knife, you just gotta stick you with it. And the guys, he says something be gone with you or something to that end, and the dude just falls on his own knife because he has a moment of reverence. He just pokes himself and bleeds out, and he's oh, that was weird, and goes back to teaching a lecture.
What the fuck?
It's a very wild thing.
Is the idea he used the voice?
No, actually. No, it was he, I'm trying to think of what it was.
Sounds like some bullshit.
I mean, yeah, a little bit, but he very specifically was not using the voice because he had no idea why the guy did it. He was oh, that's weird, and just kept teaching a bunch of 12-year-olds about water.
About water?
Yeah, because the whole thing is that the planet Arrakis got very little. Actually, got water on the caps, but they want to make it a oasis planet. They do twice, and they nuke it to glass twice. It's very funny.
All right. None of this has anything to do with anything.
Speaking of glass, burning out, baby.
Hey, there you go. You did it.
There we go, baby. Yeah, so I had a few topics, and I'm sort of just stream of consciousness-ing them. because I think some people, like most people, know what burnout is, but I figured I'd put an actual definition to it and a little fun fact for you, bud. Burnout is described as either exhaustion of physical or emotional strength or motivation, usually as a result of prolonged stress or frustration, or to cause to fail, wear out, or become exhausted, especially from overwork or overuse. Thank you, Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Yeah, I definitely think the overworked or swamped, that it plays a big factor when it comes to being burnt out from tabletop games. Because there's a lot that does go into like prepping and setting up as the DM side. And I know you've given us a bunch of like kind of prompts and stuff later on. But I do want to ask the one where it's like, have you guys ever felt burnt out as a player?
Yes.
Because I've never felt that. I always thought that when it comes to DM burnout, and we can go more into actually what it is, it was always from the dungeon master side. I never experienced player burnout, or I've never heard of people being like, I'm burnt out in D&D. I'm gonna just stop. Because most of the times when people stop playing D&D, it's 99% of it is scheduling issues or work or something.
I want to say no, but also yes. I don't know that I would call it the same thing. Like player burnout. I don't know that I would use that phrase, but I've definitely been in scenarios where I'm like, boy, I just don't want to be in this campaign anymore, but also I don't want to just dip out on everybody.
Right. But it's not from feeling like overworked or exhausted. It's probably some other like factors like
I think
you and maybe one of the other players aren't getting along.
Yeah,
well,
that would be the emotional part, right? The whatever the fuck is it, like emotional distress or whatever part of it. I could see that would be the player thing generally. I feel like a player, you're not getting along with a player, or you're just not liking. You feel like you're wasting your time because you don't like the direction the campaign's going in or has been going in. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to use the word burnout, but yeah, it's pretty similar vibe. Yeah, I've definitely had campaigns where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore on the player side of things. But it's not the same feeling, but it's a similar vibe.
Oh no, for sure. It's definitely not the same feeling. That's kind of why I made that topic that Matt just explained, is like, the difference between it. Because I think, as a DM, obviously, specifically a DM with D&D, right? There's a whole, like, it's not really a meme, but it's a meme in the sense that a meme is in its like truest sense, which is sort of like a thought child ideal of the internet. Yeah, it's like a virtual ideal, which is DMing.
Prolific idea. What I was trying to say there.
A prolific idea, which is like DMing hard, DMing stressful, lot of thing to prep, yes. And while that's, not true for every game, and it's just sort of because D&D is in the zeitgeist, and it has been, and it probably always will be, there is still this thought of oh god, I gotta go home, I have to prep the encounter, I gotta prep the NPCs, I gotta prep the maps, what's the king gonna say? Is everyone fuckable in my game? They should be, because the players will get mad if they aren't,
What is this, Baldur's Gate 3?
Bro,
it's so bad. I walk over.
Fuck angry Githyanki lady.
Gail's like, you want to see some magic?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I had that scene too. Yeah.
Walk over to Lizelle. Let me taste you, human flesh. God. Asterion, I'm a vampire. Let me bite you. Stop.
Well, I got to the point with Gail where like I thought it was just gonna be like cool magical lesson, and then it got real horny, and I was like, no, we're gonna put a pause on this, Gale. I'm not about that right now, bud.
Yeah, I had that too.
I'm a back up a little.
Look at him, be like, pause.
And then,
pause.
And then Lizelle looked at me and like, I want to smash violently, and I went, just once, just to say I did.
You look at me like, fine.
I'll try it. I'll try it one time. You're not my wife, however, but I'll try it one time.
I like literally went up to Karlak, and she's just like, go have fun with the gift, and then just remember, you're mine. And I'm like, yes, gotta pass.
Got offense.
That's what you gotta get. You just gotta get down on one knee and go, "Dick quit."
Yeah, I was not prepared
Best
for Lizelle going taste. Okay, now lower. And I was like, oh, bossy.
Now lower.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Literally what she says. I was like, alrighty then.
Goddamn. You just start sweating. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, yes. There's
Do
like
you need to
this-
make all your NPCs fuckable? No, not necessarily, but you can.
But you can, and you should.
I'm not gonna make any judgments on should or should.
Hard stance. Should.
You do.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Because of this sort of preconceived notion of intensified stress because you're running the game, there's like, it's best described as there's like a weight on your brain, I feel like, is what a lot of people get. It's this like constricting, oh god, what do I do? You know, there's like a suffocation at times. And I've definitely felt this when I prepped my first ever game that I fucking chickened out of because I was like, I can't do it. Whereas I feel like the burnout, the anxiety really on a player side is like this, oh god, if I don't show up, does that mean someone else won't show up? Does that mean that the session's canceled? Then what happens? Oh, I don't like what's going on in the game. I don't like what direction my character's going in. So like there's they are their own unique
Similar,
and
but
fairly isolated instances of the same, I guess, repeatable feeling or behavior. But they are different. And I think, you know, kind of thinking or talking about it at least is something with going on. And that sort of leads, in a way, into the other one. Or actually, before I do that, let me answer the question myself. The answer is I have absolutely felt burnout as a DM, and I've felt it just as much as a player. And neither of them are fun.
Yeah, like it's like as a player, I want to call it like exhaustion. I don't know. It's like I want a different word because burnout doesn't quite feel like the right word when you're talking about it on the player side of things, but it is kind of the similar thing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point in the game was called Ragnarok. Like that was like the title of the game. And there was like a month and a half to 2 month stretch of time where it was like beyond exhaustion. Like I was just showing up to get mad, basically.
Fuck.
Yeah, so one of the players left, who was a problem player for a while, and he had a lot of shit going on in the background. He had a lot of stuff going on with family and whatnot. So like he wasn't in the best mindset already. And then he left and then came back and was just as problematic, but like in a different way. So we went to his hometown. And for the record, he's much better now. I'm gonna throw that out. He's guested in my game. He good. It's good. You good player, bud. You know who you are. But at the time, you know, we had gone to his like hometown, this like hamlet in the middle of Bumblebee fuck nowhere, where this like they did the thing, and I brought this up a few episodes ago, which is like the magical incurable illness. But hey, DM, I have a spell that cures all illness. It doesn't work. Why? That's what it do. That's what it do. You like, let me do it. I just went on a moment there. Channeled something really deep within me. But yeah, it was that thing where we like there are two players in question who were consistently absent. And they were the only players who had like a high enough medicine, religion, and magic stat to actually solve the issue. So for about 2 to 3 months, we were stuck in this village, literally just fucking around. Like, there was, I can't even count the amount of times where I was either messaged or messaged somebody else and was like, what are we doing? And every time I tried to like do like anything, I was playing 2 characters at the time. And both of those characters, every waking moment of those 4.5-hour games, I was spent trying to circumvent the absent players, basically to find out after we had gotten out, and it was literally the session before the session was the whole campaign was canceled, that I couldn't have done anything because I just didn't have a high enough stat. Like the highest I could have rolled was like
stat.
Yeah. So if, like the DC to put the finishing touches on the cure was like a 27, and the highest I could get was a 25. So there's literally nothing my character could have done.
Got it.
Outside of like bardic inspiration, of which we didn't have, from what I remember, or we did, but like I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I could not physically hit that DC. And when I had found that out, I damn near wanted to fucking explode in rage. Like, Jesus. Yeah, I just sat there being like, it was the Aaron Hansen, like the hours, literally hours wasted. And for what? Nothing. Like
you should have just said like, hey man, this is impossible. Like, just up front instead of like.
I agree. Like yeah, rather than gaslight Yagamiing me for 2 months. Yeah, no, I know. It was very frustrating. And then obviously I've spoken about it before. It was literally my tragic backstory. My first campaign that I played in, it truly tested my like patience for the game.
Yeah.
Or like the hobby in general, because you know I had a lot of fun simultaneously in the Fire Emblem campaign, but that game ended after a year, and my first campaign went on for damn near 4.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of like, God, I just don't want to fucking be here. I just want the game to end. Please, Lord, somebody help me. Especially when random bullshit started happening, like. You know, just characters being randomly the most, like, stereotypically racist fantasy characters, like, in existence. And you're just like, okay, cool. And it's that thing, right, where if a dungeon master commits to a bit particularly hard, you're like, wait, am I being made fun of in character, or are you just being mean to me personally, you know? Yeah. And that definitely like had a pretty severe negative effect on my like mental state for a few weeks / months. Yes, they both exist 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any. I can't pull up a particular story, but yeah, like. I've definitely run into the situation of I can remember having the feeling of like, man, I just don't want to know mores, but I'm gonna stick through it, I guess. And then that generally ended up in the session of me kind of sitting there with my dick in my hand, not doing much. You know, fun stuff like that.
I would say, okay. I have also had like a, not really burnout with the game, but like burnout with a genre. Because there was I brought it before as well. Like there was a hot stretch of time where I was like, I'm just so tired of Western fantasy. Let me play anything else.
Yeah.
That was one of the major reasons, and I think I brought this up, why I chose post-apocalypse like in the US.
Yeah.
As the setting for my game, because it's just complete 180 from typical Western fantasy.
Still Western, but not Europe.
Yeah. Good old America, fuck yeah. With a lot of Mesoamerican, Eastern, and Native American. Yeah, just a lot of cool stuff in there. Yeah. What about you, Matt? Any particular horror stories that made you go, God, I just don't want to fucking do this anymore?
Not like, again, not player burnout, but I've had certain encounters with certain DMs where, yeah, I'd be questioning, like, the fuck are we doing? Like, there was a particular encounter, I don't remember if this was... Oh, God, I don't even remember where this was. But I remember specifically being like, we're fighting a creature, and it's, like, blocked behind, like, a wall or something. And and originally the DM at the time was like, you have to hit these certain nodes in order to like, break the wall, and then you can hit the creature. And I'm like, okay. But then the rest of the group was just attacking the wall and just doing a fuck ton of damage to the wall. And I was the only one who was actually doing the objective of like, let me just hit the nodes and I'll keep hitting the nodes and then we can release the wall. But the DC for the walls, like the air AC was like goddamn redonkulous. And I basically, unless I rolled like higher than an 18, I wouldn't be able to fucking hit. And so eventually I just gave up and I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. What are we doing, guys? And everyone's just like, just fucking attack the wall, you idiot. And so I eventually just joined in and we just ignored the hitting the node thing that the DM wanted us to do.
That sounds weird enough to say. That would stress me out as a player.
Yeah, because I was like he literally said like, yeah, you get the sense that if you hit you hit the nodes and you like, it'll activate the wall will like come crumbling down, or it'll deactivate the wall and then you can actually damage the creature. I think it gave the creature like resistance to all damage or something. But again, the AC was so high on the nodes that like the other players just said, fuck it, we're just going to keep damaging the wall and just whittling it away and away and away, and eventually the creature is just going to die because the damage would still go to the creature.
Yeah, I think the closest thing to that specific situation I had was the clay golem story that I told a while back, how I fifth level fireballed myself and the whole party and dealt double damage because of the explosive fog or explosive gas, and I was like, I just do what I did, I'm sorry, I don't care for if you die, I just don't want to play. Yeah, I'm still not sorry about that one, but just know, everybody, if I'm annoyed enough, I will kill everyone in one explosive finale. I've done it once and I'll fucking do it again. Hashtag Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Jesus fuck.
No, that's actually where you could use that. That's literally an example of being like, fuck it, I do what I want. Fuck. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think something good to sort of speak about, because a lot of what I think people don't realize is that when you are feeling burnt out, and this is at least for me, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but like, sometimes I think people really just forget to really take a step back and ask why you don't want to do it, Yeah. Because I've had this happen to me before where I was like, God, I don't want to do this today, but I know I'm going to enjoy it while I'm doing it, so it's not like I don't want to do it. Am I just like what is going on? And more often than not, it's like, am I stressed from work? Am I stressed because of family shit or financial shit? Like, try to really hone in on the reason why you're feeling like I just can't do it anymore. Because if I've been in, and I have done this, where for a little while you just say no to everything, and then there's a level of like, I stopped doing all the things that I thought would annoy me. Why don't I feel better? And it's like, because you're still doing the shit that annoys you. You just didn't really hit the nail on the head any of the 8 times you tried. Maybe had you just thought this through a little more, you would have come to a conclusion. And that sucks, because I don't want, obviously, as like a, the whole reason why we're doing this podcast is like as to be a proponent of the hobby and to get more people into the hobby, and people sort of going thermonuclear on themselves because I don't know. I don't want to say like people weren't thinking it through, but like that's kind of it, right? Like you were too caught up in the moment to really pinpoint what was wrong. And I think, I think just sort of coming to what that is, even if you're not exactly right, as long as you put some honest thought into it, then I think you're in the right direction. You're being cognizant of the things going on in and around you. And I think once you do that, and I can only say I think because this is how it's worked for me, and I don't know about the other two of you, like, it sort of reinvigorates you. It sort of proves you in a way sort of prove to yourself that you are still doing what you want to do. You are still having a good time. Because that's really, that's the only reason why we do this, right? Like you do it to have a good time. You do it to de-stress. And if what you're doing is causing you stress, then you need to stop.
I wouldn't say the only reason, but it's a big factor. I do think there's other reasons to do it besides just having a good time, but I won't get into that too much because then we're going to get deep down in the philosophy hole, in the sociology hole.
But when the game the game is supposed to be about being fun. When it becomes a job, when it becomes a chore, then that it becomes a major problem. I'll say that.
Not necessarily what I meant, but yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just adding. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, if the problem you're having is outside of the game, like, your nan is sick, or your dog ate a bag of chocolate, or your car's broken, like outside stress shit. Obviously, if it's really horrendous shit, like mom is dying, then, that's like a whole other degree. But if it's sort of like stressful but manageable, GG, don't bite my headphones. If it's like stressful but manageable shit and it makes running the game hard, then honestly for me it's like just put that shit on pause, the game on pause, deal with the problem, and then come back to the game. Because quite frankly, I'd rather not play for a couple of weeks, because me as the GM or someone else is GMing, because the nan is sick or whatever, and you wait till Grand isn't sick anymore. I'd rather not play for the 2 weeks till that situation gets resolved and then come back to it. Everything's good to go, than trying to like force it and things being clearly shitty because the GM like didn't prep or like energy is not in it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just just pause for a while. If it's that kind of thing, for me, like I don't see the benefit in trying to. It goes back to that whole no D&D is better than bad D&D, right? Like that's always the mentality I take on it. So if it's gonna be shiesty, just don't do. Just put a pause. It's okay. And if you're and some people might be like, oh, but if I take a week off, my game will dissolve. If your game is that fragile, your game probably was going to dissolve for something else anyway. So like, take that L, I guess. Like, I don't know. If your game is going to dissolve because you go on like a little bit of a hiatus or whatever, that's kind of like a whole other problem. So
yeah, you were already in a mountain of shit before you even started the race. Like,
I don't know about a mountain, but yeah, there was some sort of issue already there. But when it comes to the stress coming from the game itself, that I think you can get a lot more nuanced like answers on what to do, how to deal.
Can you give that to us again, bud? You sort of cut out on our end.
Everything is pain. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, we heard that one.
What did I even say? When the problem in which part did you lose me on?
Pretty much when you said when the problem, yeah, like that was it.
When the problem is in the game itself, or when the problem is coming from the game itself, that's where I think the answers to how to deal with it can be a much more nuanced thing. Because
true, and it's it's funny that you said that, but
that
because I'd want to. This is a perfect transition, but before that, Matt, did you have anything you want to like particularly add on?
I mean, there's a couple of things, besides outside like when it comes to like in-game factors, because that's where a lot of my GM burnout came from. It was just adding stress and worrying about the game, constantly thinking about it, devoting way too much time. Like I'm a big advocate for prepping, but I'm also now a big advocate of lazy prepping. You prep enough. You don't need to over prep. And in the 3-year game, I over prepped like a motherfucker because I was like, there was a part of me that originally the prep was fun because I liked writing, I like creating, all these thinking about the game and all this stuff. But then after a while, I started over prepping and doing too much, and it just eventually, like I said earlier, it became less fun and it became more of a job. It became more like a chore for me.
Yeah. I mean, like I've said this once. I'll say it again. I'll say it many times into the future. Best GM advice I ever saw from an actual tabletop book GM section was the advice in Stars Without Number that said, only prep the next thing you need for the immediate next session. And then any extra prep after that, only do if you're having fun.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. And that's just, that's basically how I live my life.
Yeah, pretty much same.
That's how I do my taxes.
You don't do your taxes.
What do you mean I don't do my taxes? I do absolutely. What do you mean?
Nah, you pay the guy down the street to do your taxes.
Oh, joke's on you. My uncle's a CPA. I don't have to pay anyone. I get it for free.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does your uncle do your fucking taxes?
Yes, he does.
You fuck.
Yes, he does. It's great. To be fair, I have very simple, basic taxes. I don't got anything fancy going on.
Same. Yeah, same.
But yes.
My tax guy likes me.
Yes, I do not pay anyone. It's pretty great.
Must be rice.
Go ahead, Isaiah. I have like two big like ultimate burnout tips and tricks that I want to get to, but you transition us in there first.
Well, yeah. So actually, I this is one of the big things I want to talk. This is actually the last thing I wanted to talk about, like the last major thing at least. But I was wondering, like, what do you do? What have you thought of? What have you seen? Any tips or tricks that you have for either preventing burn off, or if you know you're already like in the thick of it, how to stave it off until you can either get to a break period or finish the game or kill that boss, like whatever you need to do to get some breathing room. What's your sage advice?
You want to go first, Josh, or?
And I have two big ones.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, I have a couple things.
All right,
as well.
I'm gonna say two anti-Matt answers.
Sure.
Yeah, my two biggest ones for not getting burnt out are they're real. These are not going to help you if you're already in the stage of fuck my life. If you're already at that point, different situation. But to prevent the burning out problem, the two things I always say is one, shorter campaigns. That's the easiest one. Just don't do 80 session campaigns. Do 20 to 30 session campaigns. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, but how will I feel satisfied for my complete art? Trust me, it's plenty. 30 sessions is a good number. Honestly, 30 sessions is actually on the long side for me. I've found quite a lot of satisfaction finishing multiple games around the 20 session range. Trust me, it's okay. I promise. The other thing I suggest is just play different games. It is a huge one. I know a lot of people might go, how is that going to help me? Because you're a lot less likely to get burned out if you're not just doing the same thing over and over and over. And if you've been playing D&D 5e for 4 years and you know that game like the back of your hand, like basically the three of us do at this point, you're more likely to get burnt out on the game because you're not really learning anything new. You've learned the whole game. You basically know everything you need. You know, there's obviously little edge rules and shit, but like you have the primary chunk of knowledge. That lack of learning the new thing, that lack of novelty makes it much easier to burn out. It's the same reason that people who play World of Warcraft for 8 years, you know, get a little sick of WoW even though they really love it, because at a certain point the novelty has burned so thin that you're just gonna get a little tired of it. Like there's no amount of like you can't like force through it at a certain point. It's just gonna happen. You know, a great example is like I really love Final Fantasy 14, but I haven't played it in like, I don't know, maybe 4 months or something like that. And it's not because I dislike the game. It's just because I had gotten my fill and then I stepped away. And then once I eventually get back to it, I'm going to be excited and love it again because some of the sort of novelty and fresh energy will return. Also, you know, a new expansion just got announced, which reinvigorates things, right? So like play other games. If you've been playing nothing but D&D 5e, finish up that current campaign and play something else. Even if it's only a small shift to like from like D&D to Pathfinder, even a small shift can instantly be like a huge new surge of energy. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Fair enough.
You can see why I said those were the anti-Matt answers.
The first one was more of an anti-me answer because I'm really
I was gonna say because
give me 5 years.
Yeah, because I don't try to run long games. It just happens. I don't want to.
Fair enough. Look, man, all I'm saying is I'm looking at my current campaign. I see that number currently saying 74, I believe, and I just am like, that is too big of a number. I don't like that number.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I knew this current campaign was going to be longer, but in my brain when we started, I was shooting for like 50. So, you know. Undershot.
Versus the what session? How many sessions do you think we're in? Like 80, maybe 90?
I just said. Put on your listening ears, Isaiah. I just said a number. 75 is the answer.
I hate to be this guy. We were listening. You just roboted when you said the number, and then you roboted again when you said the number again.
No, there's.
The podcast listeners at home, tell us in the comments.
Oh my god! Am I alive? Can you hear me?
No.
Oh my!
No, we can't hear you, buddy.
Fuck.
75. I said 75.
Oh, 75.
All right. We heard that. It was a little choppy, but we got it.
Yeah, so like a year and a half. Okay, yeah. Over a year and a half.
No, well over a year and a half. We're two and a half, I think, deep.
Yeah.
It's not 75 every week.
Yeah, we've had like month and a half long hiatuses.
Yeah, I mean,
around.
every time December,
okay.
I basically don't run it all during December because my birthday, Isaiah's birthday, and Christmas. So we basically just call that one an L.
Yeah, but it's basically 3 weeks where
okay.
it's just
3 or 4
nonstop
weeks.
weekend parties and no running.
Yep.
Trying to sleep off that month for the most part.
Yeah. So, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Anyway. I don't think I had another thing to add, so yeah. Do the thing!
Yeah, sure.
Julie, do the thing.
So I guess when dealing with burnout, I guess one of the big things, obviously, take a step back, kind of look at the campaign, maybe postpone a game, here or there. Like, hey, like guys, I'm not feeling it. Let's take a week off. Actually, the biggest thing I want to say is talk to your fucking players. I mentioned this so much on the podcast. Just tell your players, talk to them. They will understand if they're humans. They'll be reasonable and they'll understand. Yeah.
What if my players are lizard folk, Matt?
I mean, sucks to suck, dude. I guess, I'll get better players.
Right, fair enough.
Just bleed warm-blooded, forehead.
Yeah, right? But just be honest and be upfront with your players and just say, like, hey, man, hey, guys, I'm burnt out. Like, because I did the thing where I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I told my players, like, during the end of the 3-year game, like, I was trying to be like, I don't even want to say, like, do the man thing of, like, you suffer in silence, but, like, I basically kind of was like,
do the man thing.
Yeah, you know what it like when you're a guy.
I know
you're
what
just
you mean.
Like, you're just supposed to suck it up and just take the L, eat the shit, and just fucking smile. And you're like, okay. But I was doing that, and now looking back, I'm like, I should have just told my players. Maybe I'm like, hey, can we like take a break, or maybe again, I did cut content, but I probably should have. I probably honestly should have ended the campaign way earlier than I did, just because and looking back at it too, and kind of talking to some of my players, some of them were also, again, not the player burned out, but some of them were like, yeah, I've been playing the same character for like 3 years, or hey, we've been in the same campaign for 3 years. I want to do a new campaign. I want to go to a different place, all that shit. So talk to your players. Like, that's the biggest thing I can say. I know for me, again, playing less, taking a step back. If you're DMing, like, I know for me, because I was running the game, playing with you guys in Descend to Avernus and Curse of Strahd, or Curse of Strahd, then Descend to Avernus, and I was in Storm King's Thunder, and we were in school at the time when I was working on my senior thesis. So I had outside factors that was pulling me away, and then in tabletop factors that just made like I was just doing it constantly, like Josh said, kind of like maybe playing different games or just shorter games. But I think also taking a step back, playing less D&D, coming back later, like again Josh mentioned with Final Fantasy. Also, if you want to as well, maybe rereading or rewatching or playing video games, stuff that actually like inspired you, things that you've been putting off. You're like, man, I haven't played Breath of the Wild, and the new Zelda game came out, and everyone's fucking won't shut the fuck up about it. Maybe now I'll take that D&D break and I'll play a new game, and I'll finally get a chance to hop on Zelda or something. Doing something for yourself outside of the tabletop sphere. I think getting away from it, taking that step back is a big thing. It's a big step that people don't want to do because it's like, oh, this is fun. This is a hobby. It's my game. I've built a lot of people. We get really invested in this hobby. But I think for your own personal benefit, you have to like pull yourself back a bit and realize like, hey, this is a game. Yeah, the social bonds that I build, these friendships I build, they're not going anywhere. The game, yeah, was a big reason for that and it helped. But the friendship's still going to be there. It's not like if you end the campaign, your players, again, unless they're lizard folk.
Yeah,
like
I had like, no repto, but I did have to end a campaign one time because other reptos,
Yeah. But it's not like you end the campaign and the friendships are gone.
I can't.
What?
Reptile Wizard Money Gang.
Lizard Wizard Gang.
Lizard Wizard Money Gang.
Yeah.
God damn.
Just a lizard wizard with a blizzard.
Oh. Dude, I tried so hard in Storm King Thunder to get my wizard lizard an actual like beard. But because he's a lizard folk, he couldn't, and I'm just like, how do I just buy a fake weird beard and just wear it?
You get
the Belt the Dwarven Guide.
Yeah, the Belt the Dwarven Guide.
You know what? Well, we had one, but the turtle was wearing it, so the turtle had a beard.
Tell your turtle is a bitch.
The beard doesn't fall out when you take the belt off. You just wear it for a few days.
Oh, does it? Ah, shit! I should have. God damn!
You should have borrowed
it. You fool!
Yeah.
Look at Matt not reading.
No. I thought it fell off when he fucking sounded too.
No, senor. It does not fall off. I mean, I guess it could. It doesn't say that it does or doesn't. So I guess if your DM wanted to be a douche, he could do it. But
yeah, up to interpretation.
Yeah, rules is written. There's no rule that's like, nah, sorry, but that belt, yeah, oh look, oh your beard, nah, hey, yeah, no, it's gone. And you're there just like, why? And the DM goes, fuck you. That's why. And then you cry really hard.
Yeah, that's all for. I kind of think about. I don't think there is a way, because I know you mentioned like, is there a way to prevent or stave off burnout? I think again, besides like doing, I don't think there's a way to like prevent it, because I think it's gonna happen. So the best thing you could do is either again do what Josh says, maybe do what I've mentioned, and it won't stave it off, but it will help you heal and get over it faster. So that eventually, because after, like, I told you guys, like, I stopped DMing for, like, a year. But I never stopped playing D&D because I still like the game. And I don't know if... I mean, I think it helped just being a player. Only being in the one, like, the one game, the Icewind Dale with Joe and my, the Thursday group. I think that helped. Just, like, I didn't have the stress. So I literally just, I did the thing where I just, like, showed up and I'm like, wow... I don't have to do shit. I don't have to prep maps. I just have to worry about this one sheet.
I just arrive.
Wow, what am I playing? A warlock? Wow, I only have 2 spells. This is great. There's so much less shit I have to manage. I'm like, am I gonna do Eldritch Blast or yeah,
Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast or Eldritch Blast. Ooh, maybe I'll cast Hex this round.
Man.
Ooh, yeah, getting spicy.
Yeah, buddy.
Fuck, I knew I was free. I don't think I actually ever casted Hex in that game.
Damn it.
Oh my god.
I played a bad warlock. I was not.
Yes, so.
I didn't grab Agonizing Blast until like towards the end of the game.
Oh my god.
I can't believe you've done this.
I was mostly just trying to lie and cheat and shit and just fucking like play pranks on people, and then it's like, oh,
like
the Yeti hit you for a 45.
Like
Yeah, I kind of was, yeah, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will say though, I do have to disagree with you on one part.
Here, Josh.
You specifically.
Oh.
I think there are things that you can do. Heavy emphasis on can do, right? Not to saying that they will always work 100% guaranteed FDA certified, but they are preventative steps you can take. And like, you know, obviously I'm going to be treading some old ground that was just talked about, but like breaks, take them frequently if you need to, even if it's 1 week a month that you're like literally Critical Role does this shit right now, right? The last week of every month, they just take it off. They do it to unwind, to sort of do other stuff to keep the juices flowing, metaphorically speaking. And it works, you know, like there have been stretches of time where, you know, I've had to take off 1 week of pretty much every month from either school, work, personal life, anything. And often I'm jonesing to come back that week after.
Yeah, you hit on an interesting little point there too, because it used to be actually. So we have the sort of cultural assumption nowadays, particularly when you're dealing with online play. I think this is definitely the cultural assumption. I think people who play in person, this is probably less of an assumption, but the assumption right now is you play each week, right? You do play once a week. That didn't used to be the cultural assumption though, because a lot of the vibe back in the day used to be, all right, we're going to run this adventure module. You know, we're going to do the Caves of Chaos, which will get us to, you know, whatever level. Fucking level curve was really different back then, so I'm not even going to try and guess. You know, we're going to run the Caves of Chaos for X number of months. And then once we're done with that, we're not going to play for like a month or something. Well, the GM either someone else is going to take over as the GM and the GM is going to become a player, or the GM is just going to look for a new adventure or prep something else up or whatever. Like taking big breaks so you could do really big, long, extended prep sessions, which is to say like prepping over the course of a month so you had a shitload of stuff ready to go, used to be like how people did it. You know, like that used to be the vibe, was big chunk of play, big break, big chunk of play, big break. Nowadays, we tend to do the weekly thing more, and it's assuming you'll do way, you know, smaller chunks of prep and break, you know, smaller prep chunks, but then consistent playing. And then if you take a break, something's going wrong or whatever. And it's weird. I don't know how we got to this weird shift up in mindset or what, but this is kind of a thing I've noticed. And if you listen to any of the old Grognard fellers on the YouTubes and such, who've played D&D back in like, you know, 80s, 90s, 70s, whatever. I don't know why I did that out of 70s, 80s, 90s.
Very strange order.
Yeah. You'll hear a lot of them be like, yeah, no, this is not the time system we used to use. Like we would have extended breaks, or we would have people swap out GMs a lot more often. That also used to be a lot more common. Like, hey guys, I'm tired this week. Someone else want to GM something? Yeah, I got it. That used to be way more common than it is nowadays. Like the forever GM joke used to be way less of a thing. I think that's just because of the size of the hobby though, TBH. Because it was a smaller group of people who are really, really into the thing, a lot more people were willing to GM, whereas nowadays the hobby is spread out much more. So you get people who are like kind of into the thing, but not super into the thing. You know, they're in enough to play, but not enough to GM. Like that's a whole, you know.
Bro, okay, this is one of those same moments. My players, this is not a call out.
It's a little bit of a call out.
It's a little bit of a call out, but it's not. I mean, I love you guys. It's not a malevolent call out, but it is a call out. So I'm currently on what will end up being about a 2.5 month hiatus, where I'm aiming to start up the first week of October. Probably not going to happen. We're probably going to hit second week, which means this game is probably going to hit 4 years. I'm trying. Yeah. And I was like, hey guys, you know, like just because I can't run doesn't mean the fun has to end. We can all sort of like pitch in and do one shots and whatnot. And it's been pretty radio silent. One of my players, the one who played the now deceased Shark Boy, did a single one shot. And beside that, it's been pretty much radio silent. And it makes me kind of sad, you know, because I know a lot of them can do it. It's because I didn't think I could do it. And then I did it, and I've been doing it for years. And it was hard and it was stressful until I hit a very fine level of fuck it. You know?
Fine level.
Yeah, there was like a, oh god, I gotta prep everything. That came back pretty hard. But shit, end of the third, maybe fourth month, really? I was like, let me just try. Let me just see what the bare minimum of shit I can get away with is. And the answer is, and you know, players, please feel free to correct me on this. I am absolutely open to critique. It seems to be working for the most part. I haven't had a player yet be like, did you do anything this week for prep? You know, they've said it in jest, but it's never been like a, we're bored and there's nothing to do.
Right.
So I know they can do it. This is like a Gurren Lagann style, believe in the me that believes in you kind of thing.
I mean, listen, we've maybe I shouldn't say we. I have definitely said many times that I think a lot more people can run the game than they think. Like, a lot more people can handle it a lot more than they think they can, and it is not as hard and not as daunting as many people perceive it to be. So, like, yeah, they can do it. I think almost anyone could do it. I don't really see a scenario like. The only person, like the type of people who I could see like actively like genuinely couldn't run a game are the type of people that I think have a lot of social issues just in general, you know? So it's almost like not really about running anyway. But other than that, I think pretty much anyone can run a game. That's my
I agree, and I think most people with the right mindset, and I mean right mindset insofar as not a GM horror story, can be pretty damn good at it. You know, you watch enough media, you watch or read or consume enough media, really, to have enough inspiration. Yeah, you're pretty good at it. And it's funny because Paladin had asked me like, I don't want to like inflate what he asked me. He basically was like, oh god, how did he word it? He was like, I have trouble like thinking of cool shit to do. And I was like, oh, that's kind of simple, really, because the way that I've always thought about it was, I think this thing would be super cool. So and it depends on the thing, right? I really love giant robots. But if I threw a fucking mobile suit at the party, they'd be like, oh, that's cool.
You know what I also heard is chicks love giant robots.
Chicks do love giant robots, goddammit.
That's a fucking throwback and a half if anyone
Hell
remembers that
yeah,
one.
It is. But yeah, like, if I threw a 60-foot tall giant robot in post-apocalypse California, it'd be a little jarring, you know? I could maybe think one person would be like, oh yeah, this is fucking sick.
Why not just steal the thing from Fallout? What was it? The
power armor?
No. I forgot what it's called, but in Fallout,
Liberty Prime.
Liberty Prime, yeah, just fucking do that shit.
Yeah, I could, but again, I think there's only one person, and it's Paladin, who would like genuinely appreciate that. But if you sort of tone it back into like souped up power armor with an AI, you make it a little bit more readily accessible, right? Like, you have to take what you're willing to schizo out about, dial it back a few notches, and then you sort of hand it to them, you know? You take the habanero and you sort of you drop it down to like a spicy jalapeno, you know?
Drop it down to a spicy jalapeno. That's certainly a way to phrase that.
Well, it is, like, because like I know I'm sure I asked at some point. I was like, do you guys any of you really give a fuck about post-apocalypse? And the players were much like, no, not really, but we're having fun. I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, that's fair. Because you could go really
believe-
hard into the post-apocalypse.
Can't believe your players would have such a wrong take.
Look, it's kind of hard to sell post-apocalypse, I feel like, to people. Because there's like, oh yeah,
people are allowed
like,
to have bad taste, yeah.
I don't know about all that, but look, because it's true, right? Like, if your version of post-apocalypse is The Last of Us 2, I'm sorry, but I'm not playing in your game. Like,
look, I just say show them Mad Max Fury Road once and problem solved.
bro, I would love. One of my players, Siffy, she's been like, we should do a movie night. I think the only one who's going to catch this in time is Brett and Paladin, but I will definitely bring up, hey guys, do you want to watch the movie that inspired our game?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm literally going to make that post when we're done recording.
Mad Max Fury Road, baby.
Oh yeah, such a good movie. I gotta watch the other ones at some point.
Nah, you can watch the second one.
You kind of don't, though.
Damn.
The second one, really good.
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Hilarious. Okay, if you want to watch like a good drunk movie to watch, it's Thunderdome.
Thunderdome is
Wait,
very
I thought
goofy post-apocalypse, though.
Yeah,
I thought that's
yeah.
the second one.
No, that's Road Warriors, the second one.
Oh.
Oh, is Thunderdome the third one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh.
The first one is genuinely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. That movie's about 2 hours and some change, I think. Hold on. Mad Max, 1979. Let's see, how long is this movie? An hour and 31. This movie feels like it's 5 hours long.
Also not Apocalypse.
What was that?
Nothing. It's fine.
Did you wait? I'm pretty sure I heard it. Did you say was it not really post-apocalypse?
Yes.
Kind of. It's weird. The first movie sort of assumes that the apocalypse has started, but you're not really in the thick of it yet. Like, the Road Warriors were specifically called out as, like, these super badass future cops that, like, used shotguns and drove sports cars. But it wasn't like everything is a desert. And there's a whole bit, spoiler, I guess, for a goddamn near 50-year-old movie. There's a bit where after like right before Max's family tragically dies horribly, they're in like a happy cottage in the Australian countryside, and there's trees and flowers, and they're like eating cookies and shit. It's the weirdest. It comes out of fucking nowhere, and it stays there for like 20 minutes or something. It's awful. That movie doesn't have a point. It's so strange.
I didn't realize they were contextualized as like weird cops. That's even stranger.
Yeah, they're literally called Road Warriors.
Yeah, the tagline on the poster is the maximum force of the future.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yes, sir. Yeah, fun fact, he gets his iconic interceptor in the last 20 minutes of the movie and immediately crashes it.
How did it become... okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sure.
It shows up at the beginning of the movie as like, oh yeah, it's our new like standard issue model. It's like super experimental. It's not even rolled out yet. And then his friend dies horribly, and then he gets the car at the end, and he puts it together in a cool montage, and it immediately gets run off the road and flipped.
Nice.
And then he gets shot in the knee. He has like a leg brace for some reason. I don't know. I fucking paid it. Sucked. Anyway, yeah. You don't have to watch the first one. You can watch the third one if you're feeling particularly spicy. Second one is really good. Fury Road is the best one, and we're getting a new Furiosa movie in the semi-near future with Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa, because Charlize Theron is not going to play Furiosa anymore.
I am sad about that second part, but I love Anya Taylor-Joy, so that's fine.
Yeah, apparently her and Tom Hardy wanted to strangle each other through most of the movie.
Understandable.
And apparently it's because Tom Hardy goes 150 with method acting. And
yes, I've heard he's one of those.
If it's true, I can't in good conscience tell you if I would be genuinely constantly entertained by Tom Hardy grunting, snapping, and pointing at things. Or if I would be fucking infuriated constantly. I can't tell you. A part of me wants to say I think it's the funniest shit on the planet pretty much 24/7, but I don't want to make that statement in case I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Taylor Joy real good.
I still find it super weird. This is such a diatribe. I still find it super weird that it's the same director for all the movies.
Yes.
So
yes,
what?
it is. Yeah.
It's the same director.
Yep, George Miller.
Wow.
Yep.
My man.
He really leveled up his directing skills.
Yeah, every movie, my man's like, what if completely new direction?
Yep. Anyway.
Oh God, what? Yeah.
Where the fuck were we?
Oh yeah, basically like take breaks and have people swap out. If it's doable, if your players are receptive to it, maybe once a month, have your players do a one shot. That's not a lot of prep, real shit. Like, you can find a one shot online.
I mean, you could just offer, hey, I can't run for 2 months. Someone else want to run in the meantime, and if a player offers to run for that full 2 months, then fucking let them go.
Yeah, dude, let them rip.
Because I mean, look, I'm just saying. All right, listen. This to me sounds like the hypest shit. All right, listen. All right, I'm not in Isaiah's game, but if I was, right, and we're in the current situation we were in right now, I ain't even gonna lie. The thought I would have would be, hey Isaiah, what if I run for 2 months, same setting, we're just gonna do y'all will have totally different characters, different part of the world, different part of the wasteland, same setting, and we'll just run this little side story gig. And if I have any crazy world building ideas, I'll run it by you, and you give me the yay or nay. And that would be so fun. You know what I mean?
I want that so bad. I
know, that's what I'm saying.
I've sort of put that into the universe.
Isaiah's players do it.
I would like. That was I've said this before, but that was one of my favorite things about the Fire Emblem campaign with Ant. Right? It was that from the jump, it was a collaborative storytelling experience. My character's nation, I designed from the ground up. Their culture, their the island nation, their politics. And when it came up, it was really, really cool because I was like, oh, that was my thing, Yeah. And I would love more than anything for my players to like my setting enough to deem it worthy to do extended one shots or side stories. That's the coolest shit. I can't even.
Yeah, and then you can do some fun shit where because inevitably, if someone's running, this sort of mini arc with different characters, in your setting, inevitably the GM running it is gonna say or do something that's gonna give you a crazy idea that you would have never thought of for the main game, and then you're immediately gonna be like, oh, I can reintegrate this, and then that's just gonna reinvigorate the whole energy, which helps with the burnout. Right?
It literally already has.
Yeah.
Snubby did this hilarious one shot that was I can't spoil it. It was annoyingly clever, and I didn't figure out what the meme was until she literally spelled it out to me, and I felt so dumb. But the ramifications of what happened in it and how there's this weird sort of hell dimension hotel in the random ass part of California. Yeah, no, I don't know, because we're really racing toward the end game once we're back in action. But if I can, that's absolutely coming up again. If I can help it, yes, I'm doing something with that, because that was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just a fun. It's a good way to, I don't know, spice up the chicken. I don't know. Do the thing. Do the thing.
Do the thing, Julie.
Yeah, do the thing, Julie.
What else did I have? I'm trying to think. I had some more thoughts, but they're sort of jumbled and random because we sort of hit this out of order.
Yeah.
Like, what else did I? Yeah, take breaks, let people swap out. I mean, as much as I don't agree with it with Josh, it really is the truth, right? If you have shorter campaigns, you are less likely to get tired of the thing you are doing because you're not doing it as long as you would be otherwise. So obviously that works.
Yeah, no, I agree with him with that one. That's why I mentioned to you guys in the podcast a while back where I'm like, I really don't want the Strixhaven Mad Mage game to go beyond 2 years. Not that I want to rush shit, but like, again, I feel like 2 years is like, that should be like a hard cap. Like if you're going to do a long-term, campaign, I feel like 2 years is good enough. I overdid it with the 3 years. I know, Isaiah, you're doing 4 years. Godspeed, sir.
Well, see, but you guys keep talking about time length. For me, it's really about counting it session-wise.
Yeah.
Because you could have a game that goes for 2 years, but you didn't play for 6 months of those 2 years or whatever, That's why, I think going on a session count is a more useful metric.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. It's just sort of the metric that I use. It probably is a more efficient way to count it by session number, but I never kept track of session number, and I don't intend to start now.
Yeah, same.
I mean, you should, but all right.
I mean, maybe for the next camp. What I meant is I'm not going to start with the campaign I'm currently in.
No, I mean, there's no way to do it with the campaign you're currently in, so no. But, Yeah. I also take notes. Just the reason I have the sessions counted out is because I take notes session by session.
I tried. Mm-hmm. I've tried so many. Genuinely, I've given it the college try, and I'm talking like the college sophomore try. You fucked up a little bit your first year. You're trying to get the grades back up. I really went for it, and I could not do it. It's a miracle that I'm writing anything down for this game. And I am. But it's a miracle.
I don't get it. I don't get it. You could just do the Matt bullet point method. Like, fuck, dude.
I hate being this guy. I fucking hate it. But this is one of the things of having damn near crippling ADHD. When you're off the clock, brain is in another universe. I can put in 13 hours on a game on something like Hero Forge or Mass Builder and give it my perfect 100% utmost attention. But you ask me to write 5 sentences down, that could take hours.
It sounds like a skill issue, don't it, mate?
And I hate that that's a thing. And because I'm always like, nah, man, you got to get over that shit. But I struggle every day with it. It sucks.
There's the meme of have you tried getting good though? But I don't know how'd you say that.
I could if I was heavily medicated, but
as the
you paying
kids
for
say,
that meds?
As the kids say, skill issue.
Yes, it is. It is literally a skill issue. Yeah. So writing again, miracle that I'm writing anything down.
Yeah. My only issue with the session by session thing is I normally when I prep, games, I kind of have bulletin board of how the campaign goes, and then I already have when I started the campaign I had the major beats set up, and then my note taking starts from wherever the session is, and then I'll prep maybe a session or two ahead, and that's it. And then maybe I have the bullet points down, so I'm I have the dots connecting from A to M, so I have B, C, D, but writing in between that. So it's hard to do that when it comes to session.
You misunderstand, good sir. I take two different kinds of notes. I take notes during session on a session by session basis of what happened, and then my GM notes is a separate document of stuff that's planned.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, I do the GM notes during game. Again, mostly bulletin, bullet boards, bullet points. Holy shit, English. I'll write down what important shit happened. Something. Actually, I'm gonna bring up the Strixhaven and see how many sessions I have. I actually have my notebook right here.
3 separate page Google Docs that I use because I have session notes, GM notes, and then world building stuff. So yeah, got a lot of shit written down.
I have a lot of world building notes, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have so much shit, and You know, I was gonna. Most people are like, "Oh man, you know, I make all this world building shit. My players never see it." You guys actually have seen most of the crap I've written down, world building wise.
I'm currently in.
Really?
I'm currently in session 39, or next week's gonna be session 39.
Okay. Mostly because I've been very tactful about when I throw world building shit in there, and that I try to do it when I know it's gonna be like fairly recently relevant, like soon to matter for the most part. Not always. If I write something way ahead of time, though, I will plant the seed of like I'm gonna do something with that later. I'm very deliberate.
Yes, big same. There's been a lot of things where I've like planted a little seed and wondered if someone was gonna catch it, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But every time it pops, so to speak, I'm like, fuck yeah, got it. It's a great time.
Yeah, it's always fun to do the, hey player, you want some lore?
This is a joy that few people will genuinely know, which is when your players start like talking about it outside a session, and you're there to like, yes,
speculate. Yeah, so
every idea you have will be wrong, but it will be worth it.
Yeah, so my world,
unless they get it right, and you're like, oh shit.
My world building notes are 23 pages.
I probably have a similar number if I counted.
Well, you don't have to count. You can turn on page numbers in Google.
Well, I have it across of several different documents and World Anvil.
Monkey behavior, but okay.
Yeah. Well, because I have like, you know, this Citadel's fucking like politics. I have the general world notes. I have like some deeper stuff in a separate doc. And then I have a lot of it compiled, like all the, that's not true. But probably about 60% of the NPCs are built in World Anvil, where they have like written down notes for their personalities and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should definitely try to condense that down into one big document that's got
I was gonna say
headers and shit, yeah. But you know, you do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I've heard of people who use World Anvil and they really like it for their games if it's like massive and expansive and shit.
Yeah, World Anvil's really cool.
Mostly just because the maps feature, right? Because I know it has a really good map feature and nope feature, and you can have all the NPCs listed out. But like, you can probably pretty much do that on Roll20 nowadays.
You can, but
or not Roll20. Roll20 and Discord. Sorry.
You can. It's a little more archaic on Discord because, you know,
Discord doesn't archive very well.
Yeah, it's like when people do like try archiving shit on Patreon, and it's just a nightmare to find anything. Anyone who like subscribes to map making Patreons will know this fucking pain. Yeah, it's doable, but not. Oh, excuse me. Not something I'm like particularly excited about. Sometimes you can do it if it's simple enough, but yeah, I really like World Anvil. My only thing with World Anvil that I ran into was I did not 100% understand how the like article system in World Anvil worked when I started doing it. So once I had really figured out, there was a lot of stuff that was mislabeled or it was built with the wrong syntax. And then I would have had to remake it, and I was just like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want.
It was a lot of goddamn work.
Fair enough.
Honestly, that's really all I had for this week. It was just something that I was sort of thinking about. It's been on my mind, especially because I'm in the middle of a hiatus. And I guess to touch on something that Matt said earlier, don't do this. I don't care if you're what you identify as, male, female, whatever. Because he said the man thing to do. I don't give a fuck. Do not do...
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Yeah. Do not
don't
muscle through it.
Damn it.
Don't be a man. Cut your dick off.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, it's not.
Got my
Right
schedule
here first,
next week.
folks. Quote Isaiah.
Yeah, do not try to muscle through it. You can, but more often than not, I really would say like 80% of the time, I feel at least, the product that you deliver to your players is subpar at best. Because you're thinking about it from like a
Oh, you mean if you muscle through it?
Yeah, I oftentimes I feel like there's a level of like stifling there, and you can I don't know about anybody or everybody, but I feel like at times I can definitely feel it. You know, if a player or if a GM is like just trying to get past this one thing, you'll notice small stuff like, you know, little inconsistencies and even more specifically like little plot holes. You know, like oh, I thought you said, you know, like I thought this for a while, but like, you know, like the sorcerers in The Witcher, I thought they could only be women. And if this is a good example of, if you state that at the beginning of your game and then an old wizard shows up and you're like, wait, I thought, and then you have to sit there being like, oh, well, he's a special wizard, you know?
He's the special boy. I mean, you can make special exception-y boys to rules like that, but it has to be a deliberate thing.
Yeah, and your players will know if it doesn't feel deliberate. You'll know. Or they'll know, sorry. Yeah. And then you're going to feel real dumb. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. Yeah, so just, if you're feeling like, God, I just don't want to fucking do this right now, just don't. Just don't. It seems like it will be stressful in the moment, because I've definitely gone through this where it's like my game's going to end, I'm never going to see my friends again. It's all irrational, really. But the chances of that happening, if they're really your friends, very low.
Yeah.
And
D&D doesn't have to be the only game, or D&D tabletop games aren't the only things you guys can play, you know, as a friend group. You can take your tabletop party and be like, hey, anybody want to play Uno tonight? Or, hey, anybody want to play Baldur's Gate? Or, hey, anybody want to play, you know, Call of Duty or whatever? You can figure out another game or another group activity to do outside of this hobby.
True. You know, like, yeah, video games, movies, watch something, play something, pick up a hobby together. Like, you know, me and Sam are like really into Warhammer and Fate, and whenever we're not playing in a campaign together, we're often texting each other about that specific thing.
Half of my players are all like Magic the Gathering nerds, so they, you know, they all talk about that. The other half are like League of Legends nerds, so I kind of get like, you know, I have my foot in both camps, and I understand like half of what's being said, so I'm like, yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm like, I remember ARAM.
Matt's over here like, yes, I too enjoy Jinx's armpits.
Yes, I do.
We are not the same. Bet your ass out.
My buddies are also mad that like Post Malone bought the One Ring. It's like, damn it, could have been me. Turns out the box was in.
Yeah, he did.
He bought it for like $2 million.
I mean, if there is any celebrity to buy the One Ring, I'm kind of okay with him doing it.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool, like,
he's kind of
Magic the Gathering fan.
Man.
Yeah.
Did you know he's younger than us?
Yeah.
Yes, I did, unfortunately, and I wish
by like he's like 22, I think.
Yeah. Don't worry, it hurts me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yep.
Sorry, guys,
we'll
get there
making
one
more
day.
money than I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be us one day.
I mean, I'm good. I don't really.
Not in the rap game, but like, you know.
I don't really want to be famous, TBH.
Yeah, I'm happy with stable. Like low level fame. You know, having 100 followers on fucking Twitter. That'd be cool.
You're right.
This is not related to the topic. I honestly, for me, ultimate contentment in life is if I can have enough money and time to do the shit I want to do and leave me the fuck alone otherwise.
Isaiah, that's called retirement.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it when I'm old.
Isaiah's like, I want to do it now.
I don't want to build Gunpla when I have arthritis.
It's
Fair
like,
enough.
oh god, my fingers.
Yeah, like, you know, like my fingers hurt building model kits now. Imagine me when I'm fucking goddamn 70.
Listen, just keep moisturizing your hand, icing your hands. Make sure you take care of them, and that way, when you're 80, you're not going to have any hand problems, and/or you will stave off the hand issues, so they won't be as bad when you're older.
That's a big maybe, bud. That's a lot of genetics right there. And as we found out, genetics are not on my side, pretty much universally. So yeah, I'm not gonna bet on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any other comments, questions, concerns, Isaiah? Last one to pass on a high school one there. Comments,
No.
questions, concerns?
God, I mean, you know what hurts me? My 10-year high school anniversary is coming up in almost 2.5 years, and I'm just like, oh god, I haven't done anything in my life.
Mine's next year.
Oh baby, are you going?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
I
Consider
feel like I
it.
have to.
I will consider it.
What, your high school reunion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed mine completely.
What? Why?
That doesn't surprise me.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't know it was happening.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I didn't know it was happening, and I was the kid where most of the friends I bonded with were in the grade below me, and the few people that were in my grade that I was cool with kind of drifted apart. Or honestly, Joe is the only friend from high school who was in my grade that I still talk to from high school.
Damn.
Everybody else, we kind of drifted away, moved. People moved, stopped talking to each other, shit like that. But yeah, most of my friends, like the ones I play Payday with, or like my buddy Dick, like they're all the grade below me. Yeah.
I don't know. You said like 5 times. That I don't know. It just sounded funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my one friend, and then this other friend.
And in an attempt to reel us back in, I think the important nugget of knowledge, nugget of wisdom, the fucking the jewel, is kind of what Isaiah was saying in the very beginning, which is like definitely identify why you're feeling burned out. Because I do think so. I don't think any of us have said this yet, but it sort of popped into my brain. If the reason you're feeling burnt out is because of a very specific thing in the game, then maybe just try and address that specific thing in the game, Like I've had times where I was running a game and my feeling of burnout was actually not so much burnout as I was just really done with the current thing, that like the current arc that was going on in the game right that minute. And I just wanted to be done with the arc. So I just took a couple of things out to shorten the arc up, Like I've noticed that a couple of times happen to me, and I'm like, oh, I'm not actually burnt out. I just don't want to do this particular thing, Once we move on, I'll be good again. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I've definitely had that thing where it's like, God, I just want this. I mean, I literally talked about that, right? With like the big Bandit War arc, where I was like, God, I just want this to be over.
Yeah. Yes. Although I think you probably could have been a little more ruthless with that particular arc than you were, but
yeah, probably.
you do you, Chief.
Cut content. Big proponent.
Yeah, or just jump things, or there's lots of shit. I
do time skips.
I mean, shit. You could even be
it works
really
for One Piece.
You could
literally once.
You could even be just really frustrated with like something a particular player is doing consistently, and you could just rock up and be like, hey, you're killing my joy, could you please stop? Thank you. Like, like maybe a certain someone keeps trying to throw flour at people. Be weird if that happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why would you throw flour at somebody? That's fucking.
It's funny. I would be that DM just to be the dick and just be like, all right, DM. So scientifically speaking, if I throw flour on a guy and light on fire, it creates a little bomb. And I'd be like, I don't know. What is this science you speak of? And it's like, fuck you, Matt. No, it works. And it's like, unfortunate. We live in a world of magic.
Well, okay, but then someone could easily argue, okay, can I not just magically blow the flower up or magically transmute it into a bomb?
I'll allow a polymorph into a bomb, yes.
Perfect, cool. All right, I'll burn third level spell for a fireball. Yeah.
Did you say I'll polymorph into a bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow it to polymorph into a bomb, yeah.
Oh, okay.
As long as it does third level damage, we're chill. Because the flower bombs never do that much damage.
Yeah, I think
they do like what, 2d8 if that.
I don't know. What is like? I know there's there's a bunch of actually different explosives in 5e. Surprisingly, there's like smoke powder. There's kegs. There's dynamite, TNT.
Sorry, I haven't personally had a situation where a player was like doing something like I've had players like have some truancy issues, some just not showing up to school to do homework. But yeah, I can't say I've had like a player did something that was like genuinely getting on my nerves.
Good to know for the next time I'm potentially a player in your game.
Look, if you want to spend your hard-earned units of currency on fucking just 80 sacks of flour, please, that would be the funniest shit. And that would be a hawk move.
So far, my next character idea is absurd, but he's a slime person.
I appreciate this. I appreciate you.
I hate that.
I don't know if I'll do the same voice as Puffin Forest, but I'm tempted. Because it'll be funny with a slime person. Hello. I'm speaking to you with my eldritch powers, also my godly powers, also my monkey abilities. And it's like, I didn't know monks can do that. They don't.
They don't.
It's just
what a terrible class.
It's so funny. The idea of like, I'm just going to play every class in the game. I'm going to take at least one level of every class.
Every class. You know what? The thing is, I've heard of people doing that before that video came out, but I'm glad he made that video and not popularized it, but like made it more well known to like D&D YouTube fans. Because I've heard that story of someone like, yeah, I did a one shot like back in like, second edition or third edition where I played like 1 level or 2 levels of every class. And it's like, fuck. And it's like, how did that work out? It's like, not well. Thank God we were level 20.
Not well.
It was only for 20 level one shots. Which probably that would be a good like level 20 one shot character just to fuck around with. Figure out how the hell to do it.
There has to be like, right, because like you have to like if you're level 20, you have to take those other levels in something.
Yeah.
So what would be the best?
You'd probably dip 2 or 3 in like certain classes and then 1 in certain classes. Yeah, it's a fun concept to think about.
Yeah. God, now I'm gonna be thinking about this.
How did actually do this correctly?
Yeah. I'm gonna think about it for like an hour and be like, nah, I don't want to do it.
All right, Isaiah, you got a rap for us?
Yeah.
Can I get it in a spinach, please?
And a spinach? What the fuck does that mean?
Spinach rap?
Oh, see, me and Josh went 2 different directions with the word rap, and I'm glad.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, were you thinking rap is an R-A-P?
I literally started. Yeah, did you guys not hear me singing the fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Oh shit.
No, yeah.
My Discord probably didn't pick. I literally was like, and this is a story. Oh
no, I didn't hear any of
that. No, seriously though, can I have a spinach rap?
That actually doesn't sound too bad right now, actually.
Right? I love a good
I'm actually trying to come over it.
All right. Like Josh said at the beginning, we're going to be taking a few weeks off. So if you can do us a solid and share us around, tell people about us, see if they like listening to our voices. And if not, that's cool.
No, seriously, email a link to your grandmother, though.
Follow us on the site.
The site. The forbidden site.
Yeah. I what did Tarzan say?
Twitter.
He was plummeting towards the earth. I miss Vine.
Yeah. Isaiah's saying follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. We post clips, videos, maybe pretty much all of our hey shit's happens on Twitter. Yeah, appreciate that.
We'll see how long that lasts.
I'll be sending some European fantasy inspirational pictures for you guys to check out while I go back to my motherland.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I honestly, I'm not, don't hold me to this, but I kind of want to, like, I don't know, stream Conan or something in the 2 weeks we have off, but.
See, you shouldn't have said it while we're still recording.
Well, now you gotta do it. You're on the hook.
No. I very specifically said don't.
It doesn't matter. It's
nope,
internet.
It's in there.
It's internet rules. Just don't say it.
No. What you don't do on the internet is you don't pull a he who has passed on and say quote me on that live.
You don't do that either. But still, you just sort of said nothing.
Yeah, like I'm not quoting the nutsack sandwich live. All right, I'm not doing it. But
God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. That's been us. See ya.
Goodbye forever. Die forever.
This is a story all about how I got burned out on the. I'm done. Actually, I don't have anything. Shadow Wizard, Lizard Wizard money.